Alright guys, how's it going today? So, just got done taking Big Red for, I guess you could say it's second spin for the year. I took it out yesterday, and I buried him. It's actually on the ramp. It was kind of funny because it was my fault because I effed up, but I went up there, that's what I do around this time of the year. I start blazing trails, wherever I can drive Big Red, even through snow and whatever. As long as it's not super deep, and you can usually gauge it off of, how it's melted and if there's any grass showing there or whatever, But I've been doing it long enough now that I can kind of gauge it a little bit, but I knew that the ramp was buried, going up the dike, because I haven't blown it out for a while. But it, I don't know. What I like to do, especially if I know it's going to be deep, what I do is I turn on my 4-wheel drive, and just so I don't sit there and spin, obviously. What I'll do is I'll go maybe a couple of feet into the snow or whatever you're dealing with. In my case, it's snow. Then I'll back up, and then I'll do it again. But then on that second round, I'll go about a foot further in. Basically, what I'm doing is whatever the tires are running over, I am crushing it. So then I have more traction. Because there's less snow there, and I'll be able to maybe grip dirt eventually. But the problem is it was going good, like I said, for the first time. And then, so I went back and forth. I eventually got up it. Of course, with the 4-wheel drive, that all makes a big difference too. So I went up there, went on top of the dike, went to the bridge, drove down into the field a little bit. I actually went pretty much throughout the whole entire field today. But yesterday, I went through just up to the bridge and to my no trespassing sign, pulled the U-wing and went back. But then I stopped at the house at the farm to grab something. And then I figured, well, maybe I'll try it one more time. I'll go back up it for fun, just to make damn sure that I got punched through it. Well, the first mistake was that I had turned off the 4-wheel drive. I don't like having my 4-wheel drive on unless it's absolutely necessary, even though it is an automatic 4-wheel drive. Even if you do turn it on, it's only going to turn on when it slips. It senses that the back wheels are slipping and the front wheels are not moving. Then it'll turn it on, by itself. But the big mistake that I made was that I was about halfway through it. I only had it in 2-wheel drive. I spun out. Okay, well, I figured I didn't spin. I didn't sit there and spin the wheels, forever and ever and ever, digging myself deeper into a hole. So I figured, okay, I'll stop. I tried backing up in 2-wheel drive. Well, I got a couple inches, and then I lost traction, so then I kicked the 4-wheel drive on. And then I just put it in reverse. I started crawling out of it, broke traction, spun out. I figured, okay, I'll try climbing it, because you got to rock it a little bit sometimes. It just sunk like a rock, right up to the skid plate. Big Red was hung up on snow. So that was pretty much game over there. So I was digging it out, and my uncle come out. He started digging, and we're just digging all the snow that we could around it, to get out of it. I was even removing snow from behind the tires and everything just to get rid of as much snow as humanly freaking possible. And then, of course, enough of, going back and forth, rocking it, pinning it wide open. I eventually just slammed it into reverse, full throttle. Well, it only lets you go up to 8 miles an hour in reverse, so it's governed that way. So reverse is kind of stupid. It's a safety thing, because I guess you can override it. I keep forgetting that you can't override them with just a simple push of that button, but that's because I could have used a lot more speed. I think 8 mile an hour is just not going to really be enough. So, but then I had it, it was finding traction, and it was pulling itself slowly out. So I just kept laying on it, and then eventually one of the tires, I think, grabbed some dirt or something, and then it just started ever so slightly pulling me further and further out. So I got out. But I don't know, I do that pretty much every year, but usually the last couple of years I have also buried Big Red, but I've always been able to dig them out enough to where, I can push them out, myself, or just rock the machine a little bit and then it pops out. But this time I really buried it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I went up it again today, but what I did was the snow that I got hung up on, I removed it with the shovel, so then I figured, well, if I remove that little bit of snow enough to where I can't bury it, then what more can go wrong? Well, the problem is when I went up the dike, it kind of put me on the side of the ramp, just slightly. So you're slightly on, you're leaning towards the west. And that's one of the mistakes I always keep doing, is that I keep getting too far over to the west side of that ramp, and then I'm on a hill, So I figured, okay, well, there's no way in hell I can get stuck now. So I put it in 4-wheel drive, and I was slowly climbing up it, pushing the snow back down, and waiting to see if I would find a soft spot or something or whatever, could sink. And all of a sudden, the front end of Big Red started nosing downhill. It started veering west. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna go right into the garden. So I turned the wheel all the way to the right, which isn't gonna really do you any good, because then now you're trying to go uphill. And I'm plowing in the snow that I did not even touch. I was veering off my trail because I was going in, but then I was like, well, I have no choice now. It's just give her all hell and just pray for the best. So I just full throttle and 4-wheel drive and going uphill, turning it uphill, and wasn't doing it. I spun out. So I was like, well, don't bury it. Back up. I figured, okay, well, maybe I'll back up. I can back down, going down deep snow, is not really a big deal because you can use speed. You can just go really, really fast and you'll plow right through it. So, but I figured, okay, I'm backing up. I go about 2 feet, perfectly fine. The ass end of Big Red slides down the hill. I was like, this is going to end up really bad this time. So I was like, well, before I bury it, stop. If I put it back into high, still have the 4-wheel drive on, I just redlined it, and Big Red, I guess, kind of, one of the front wheels caught something, I guess, I don't know, not ice, but gravel maybe, or dirt or something, and it just, from there, it started pulling me back up the hill, and it kind of, the driver's side of Big Red was still in that deep snow a little bit. So I figured, well, that could suck me in, and then I'm done. But I just had the wheel to the right. So then basically that front left tire was being more of like a blade, and it just pushing the snow out of my way. And then I guess finding whatever it could for traction. And then it plowed me right back on top of the dike, and I was, safe for a while. So I just figured, well, I don't want to run out of battery juice because I'm limited on battery juice. So then I just went and made my first round out in the field. Well, I didn't go like through the woods or anything. I'm thinking at least another week before I can drive where I feel comfortable driving, like on my trails. I don't like making new trails, but the field is probably still frozen for the most part, so it's not like I'm going to make ruts or anything. My theory is if you got standing water, drive through that, because that's where it's going to be frozen still. It might even still be frozen under snow too. So, but wherever snow has melted and it's just bare ground now, that's what's going to dry out, you know. But it could also, that could be a little bit wet, and you know, you could just make ruts. So I guess you win some, you lose some. You just gotta, I guess, just go with whatever you think is best, and if it works, it works. And I've done that, and I've never had any problems. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I guess I won't be getting up that ramp for at least probably another few days, and then they're talking rain, which could increase melting. There has been a lot of melting going on. There was a snowbank in front of my house going west that was probably taller than me. When the state plows the roads, they got that pretty tall. It's probably up to my knees right now. That's how much it's melted in just the last few days. So we've been having a lot of good melting. I don't think we're going to get any flash flooding like in town, kind of like, because it's just, I don't know, it's just, we're getting water standing in certain areas of the yard, but that's normal because it's a low spot. So that's always going to flood no matter what. The river hasn't come up yet. I think that's still a little froze yet. I know the snowcatters went to hell on it a few days ago. They were ripping ass on it because they know this was it was going to be their last good ride for the year. So they were giving her hell on the river, and that's the one place that you can actually run and get those machines up to top speed. You know, if you want to go as fast as possible, that's the only place you can do it. It's on the river. So. But within probably another week, if even that river's going to be unthawed enough to where it may not be safe anymore. So, what are you going to do, right? So yeah, I think snowcatting is going to be pretty much done now. I don't think anybody else is going to be running on the river now. It's just way too sketchy. So. But what are you gonna? It is what it is, right? So we'll kind of just we'll just deal with it. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of good snow melt, and it's actually, I think this is the warmest day we've had yet so far. It got, I think the last I checked it was close to 50, but with the wind, it's going to bring it down some, right? But I was able to go for a ride on Big Red just in my sweater and in my shit boots. I'm wearing my shit boots now because it's getting too muddy out, and I don't want to get my winter boots all covered in mud and shit. So I'm wearing these boots now. So, but yeah, it's going to probably be at least a couple of days yet before I can get up and down that ramp without any problem. I can probably go up there every day, I suppose, and scrape a little bit with the shovel or whatever, move a little bit out of the way, and it'll melt a little quicker. As long as we get to some bare dirt, which it is doing in places, which is probably where I was getting traction to pull myself back up the hill. I never went back down it though. I came in through the other way over there at the south of town, just because it was clean. There was no snow. There was a little bit of snow there, which I was worried about too, because there's a dike right there, and then you got the ditch, and then you got whatever, and I had to turn myself into the road so I wouldn't slide into the ditch, go through that deep snow and then slide. So I had the four-wheel drive on, and trying to avoid not sliding into the ditch, because that would be even worse than burying it over at the ramp. So, but whatever, it is what it is, right? So I guess we'll just give her another few days, and go back out, I guess again, maybe go out there They're talking rain. There's a 50% chance, or 40% chance one day, and a 50% chance the next day. So we might get a little mist out of that. I don't know. That might melt snow further. I mean, it'll help it out, but I don't know. It'll just make things kind of more muddy. But I mean, what are you going to do, right? So just going to put up with it. So, and then to get the I know what's that guy's channel's name? Another Farmall guy. He likes Farmall tractors. He was out with his Farmall Cub just a couple days ago, trying to plow some dirt. Actually turned some dirt over, and of course it was just a little bit too tacky, I guess. It wasn't turning over very well, but yeah, we're not going to be getting to the gardens for ours at least for another month, because not only do you have to wait for snow to melt, then you have to wait for it to dry out, and then in the process of it drying out, it has to warm up. So, and then it was kind of funny because just a couple days ago, I got that other cleavage pin, just like what's on the back of Big Red, but that's 5/8. I went and put that on the tractor a couple days ago, and it fits perfectly fine. Because there is already some plate in the hitch, so there's going to be some slop there. It's not going to be perfectly tight, but so it fits like a glove. But when I went to go put that thing on, that whole back end of the tractor still had a big old snowdrift behind it, and then it'd be like the passenger side or whatever, you know. So and I went and looked at it today, and like 90% of that snow is already gone. So I think within probably another couple of weeks, I could have that tractor running for the year. But the cultivator is still buried, or the harrow. That thing is still it's still under like 5 feet of snow. So, and I'm not going to blow snow out just to get it out. So it's just, we're not going to get in at least for another month. So, I mean, just leave it. And then I found out, if it's accurate, I don't know, maybe it depends on what kind of A you're dealing with, but most A's can hold up to 10 gallons of gas in the fuel tank. So I got to get a lot of gas, and I've been trying to throw in, like, because when I top off my machines, now I'm running Big Red, so now Big Red's drinking up fuel like crazy, so there's going to be even less fuel to deal with now. But I've always had some gas left over, at least a couple of gallons or whatever, and I've been trying to just throw it into machines that need to be topped off. And I topped off the grain truck a month ago. Probably not, yeah, about a month ago. I put in, I topped off that. I don't know, I can't remember if I filled that thing up before winter or not. I thought I did, but I don't know if it's evaporating in the grain truck or if there's a very tiny leak somewhere. I don't know, but I could have swore that I had filled it up before the winter hit. And then from then until when I was out there last, I think about a good gallon or two disappeared. I don't know where the hell it went. So it could just be evaporating, but I don't know why it would do that, but whatever. So, but I already did that, so that should be fine now, hopefully. Hopefully it's still not slowly evaporating. I guess if it is, well, then I'm not going to put much gas in it anymore, because it shouldn't be evaporating, but somebody could be stealing it too, for all the hell I know. So, but yeah, and then I want to start topping off the Farmall. So the plans are pretty much to get out of here, cat. Once I top off the machines here again, like Big Red's going to need to get topped off. The John Deere's down to half a tank because of that big snowstorm that we had. burned half a tank of fuel just moving all this wet, sloppy shit. And then the Tahoe is going to probably need a gallon or two to top that off. So there probably won't be much gas left to put in the tractor, so I might have to make a second trip to get some more gas. Because I like to plan ahead. So we have a special guest. Kitty cat. Yeah. You gonna catch that bird? You've been bad at catching birds. There's been like a freaking bird horde going on over here. Just thousands of little birds flying around, and she's been trying to catch them all. Right? You've been trying to catch all the birds? Well, you don't need to bring them into my garage and tear them up. See? Yeah, so she's trying to, yeah. But yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. It's going to take a lot of gas to keep these machines running. So, I don't know. So, I guess we'll just take it one day at a time, I guess. And I'm thinking, once I top everything back off, which could probably take another couple of days. The snow's melting pretty good, so I'm thinking within another couple of days, I probably could take the tarp off the little tractor, at least enough to get to the fuel tank, and at least throw a couple more gallons in it or whatever, so then I can get rid of gas, get rid of some extra gas, because I like to take all three of my cans at one time and just be done with it. So, yeah, I get three cans of gas. Well, it used to be just 2. But then I retired one gas can because they said it was a risk of it blowing up, so I didn't use it for a few years. But I'm back to using it because you know what? I need extra gas, and I still could probably use a 4th can yet. So you can tell how much gas I go through every month. It's not that bad in the wintertime, because in the wintertime, you're only snow blowing and then maybe running the Tahoe a little bit. Obviously, this winter, Big Red sat most of that, so full tank, that lasted all winter because I filled it up and left it. So, but now I've been running Big Red. He's burned a couple of gallons, or a gallon at least anyway, and then the Tahoe probably needs an extra gallon. The John Deere probably another couple of gallons. I don't know. It's down to half a tank, and it usually it's a 4.5 gallon tank. So, well, you can do the math there, but yeah, my gas cans are still full because I just filled them up. So I need to kind of just top everything back off again, and then go and throw whatever I got left in the little tractor. Because like I said, the grain truck should be full now. That should hopefully last. It's not gonna last all summer. I'll probably burn that through the whole fucking tank in a couple of months. But since I don't really plan on running it much this year, it is what it is, right? So, but yeah. There's getting to be quite a few flies flying around now too. I seen one a couple of weeks ago, but now there's like 6 right here right now, flying around in my shop. So I know somebody said that you can, depending on how many flies you see, I think between now and then the end of the month, that can roughly tell you how many flies there's going to be for the whole entire year, I guess, or somehow you can do that math, and then that can tell you on how many flies you're going to see in all for the year, like how bad it's going to be. Well, it's going to be bad no matter what, so, especially for the cattle, so, but, whatever. But yeah, I figured I'd just give you guys a little bit of an update. There isn't really much to do. Yeah, I didn't make any video of riding through the field, but I like to just kind of, go by myself. I want to figure out how I can get down in here now without making a mess. So And I got down in there. And I was able to work my way all the way from the North Bridge to where the old bridge used to be at. I worked my way all the way there and went through a little bit of deep snow here and there, but speed's your friend. So it wasn't that deep anyway, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know. But I bet definitely within another week, I think that ramp will be open enough to where I don't have to worry about spinning out. It'll probably still be muddy, but you can climb through mud. So Big Red's done that a lot over the years. So, and now with these better tires on him, she drifts through mud like a sumbitch. So, but yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to take off. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update and tell you that the snow is slowly melted. Even my cats are all out and are glad. They've been out for like four hours now, I suppose. She does that all the time. Just goes into lazy mode. So, but yeah. And it was kind of crazy too because my mailbox had snow up to the very top of it. And then that was just a couple days ago. And then just like in like the last 3 days, all that snow that was right up against the mailbox is all away from the mailbox. There's actually like a 1 foot gap between snow and my mailbox. So snow's melting, which is making me happy. So the sooner it gets out of here, the better. So, but it is what it is, right? So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I just wanted to give you guys a little update to what's going on. That I did get Big Red down the field for the first time. Maybe nobody probably cares, but I guess we're looking forward to some riding videos, maybe kind of over the next few weeks or something. I don't know. It'll be a while before I get the farm all here and get the harrow here, but we're not going to get in the garden anyway anytime soon. So, but yeah. So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.